Hey, you guys, good evening. This is Shannon with For Humanities, and today is my Bright Idea Monday After Dark. So, we're just now getting here because we were outside wetting up the kids with the water hose. And because it's hot, it was 108 degrees here today, 100, 108, 104. I think it's probably still about 100 degrees. It's hot, and it was so hot and so smoky that the sun was just red, and all you can see is this big round red circle in the sky because it's so smoggy, foggy, smoky, and being like over 100 and something 8 degrees. Period. It is. You just can't really smell it directly, but there's a lot of smoke in the air. That's why the clouds are in the sky is so hazy because there's smoke way up top. Is kind of floating up higher right now as opposed to being lower. So for those of you guys who are coming in, again, Shannon with For Humanities, and today we are talking about Bright Idea Monday, where you come and share your ideas or you get ideas. So earlier today, of course, I was out talking with some folks, and I was talking with this young lady, and she's kind of like borderline going to retire. And she was still going, and she lives in the San Joaquin area, but she's driving all the way to Salinas to work. And it's basically a long drive. And sometimes she has to stay out there in Salinas and rent like a place to be there during the week. So she was talking about retiring, and my point to her was sometimes we think that, okay, we're going to sit and retire and wait for that particular age that comes when they say you should retire. And one of the things that also has happened is that people would wait to that age, and then they would get to that age and they would retire, and then unfortunately they die. And the problem with that is that we have become so reliant on retirement and government pay and money and social security and things like that, that we will forego the stuff that we want to do and places we want to go and things that we want to see, and we would forego those things because we are planning and waiting for social security or waiting for retirement. And I think she had said that, and who's to know, but I just, let's just say the difference was like $1,000. And she was going and renting, and her husband kind of chimed in and said, yeah, and renting out of space other places. Mind you, she still has a home, and she's dealing with the expense of still trying to work in this area. And the problem with that I had was that, I said, well, I'm not necessarily close to, to that point of retirement or planning to retire right at the second, but I'm not going to wait till I'm 75, 77 to retire because they say, oh, if you retire at this age, you get this amount of money, which is probably like $1,000 more. So my mindset was, I told her, I said, well, you know what? Let's just be realistic. You're going to wait to retire. But then she threw this on me, which was kind of like, yeah, what do you expect? That the institution she's working for, they done already took a cut in pay in their time. And so that now, if you're sitting here trying to retire and they go and cut into your money, now you're even further back. So the cost of inflation and the cost of things and the reduction of work and hours and pay, you will never catch up to be able to retire at the comfortable level that you want to, relying on that. And so I said, well, come on now. Isn't there something you could do? Can you make some pillows? Can you, sell something online and set it up? to make a difference of $1,000, maybe $2,000. Maybe you only need to make an extra $2,000. Maybe you need to figure out something that you can do that can bring in $2,000 that you don't have to worry about physically going out and doing anything. Maybe you can do something to some degree that you can find someone who could also support you in your work, that they're out there working and working your business so that you can get a $2,000. Now, that was just her thing. I just turned it into 1,000. Now I'm about to turn it into 2,000. But okay, fine, 3,000. There's something that you can do that can get you an extra $3,000, if that's the case, so that you can retire. It's like, come on. So the bright idea of the night for this after dark is just real talk after dark. And it's just looking at the fact that we really need to not become so reliant on retirement and the number and whatever the number they say. You retire when you know that you can be able to cover your bills and cover the stuff that you need. Some of us don't have no retirement plan where they paying for your medical for life, or any of those things. You're going to have to figure out how to get your medical paid for. So you want to go ahead and start figuring out what you can do to generate some revenue to bring in those monies. So anyway, for those of you guys who are coming in, I am using Restream tonight, so I can't see you if you just pop in. You're going to have to say hello so that I can see you and know that you're there. So when we're talking about Real Talk After Dark, I was talking with her, and one of her things that she said is that since COVID, but since period, there's just new modern technologies, and she's kind of been doing things a certain way, which is kind of like not with the current times. So the thing with that is that they required her to move a little faster. So of course, some of y'all folks that's out there, baby boomers, and some of y'all Gen X's, Y's, but you kind of like you know traditional, and you want to do things the same way they did it. But now they want you to use technology, and they want you to hurry it up a little bit with the technology so you can keep up, because right now it's about meeting the numbers and the quota, and that's what they're looking at, because that's what shows impact as far as what data analysis and all those things can say. But for those who love to talk with people and use that touch and human touch, it's like it's hard for you to transition over. So her thing was is that she was having a difficult time transitioning, and a little stubborn, where she wants to do it the way she wants to do it. It's taking like 45 minutes when they want you to take that 45 minutes and turn that into 15 minutes. And if you can't do it, eventually they will kind of make it uncomfortable for you, and then you eventually will have to leave anyway. So my thing was is leave on your own terms. Figure out what you can do, so then you and your husband can go run the world and get in the street and do what you want to do, and not have to sit here and worry about the fact that you're on the road all this time and you're working so hard. When you want to be able to use the life left that you have to have fun and enjoy yourself, and not have to be answering to someone because of $1,000. So you got a whole year to make $1,000. I'm sure we could figure out something. You could probably do something to get at least $5,000 a year. Even if you like went and did like some little simple job somewhere teaching or tutoring. So I gave her an idea, and this is the bright idea session, is that she has a great skill set, and there's always people who are needing to take tests to get to where she is. So of course I told her, just take what you already know the test. Why don't you prep them and get them ready for it, and you charge them? They got to pay for it anyway. Why not just do that and just help them and tell them and teach them how to have a backup plan. What's the plan A or plan B for when you're getting ready to retire, or you want to not have to wait on that magic number to retire. You want to just do it when you want to do it, but you are still sitting and trying to figure out how you're going to make up the difference on the money to be able to still continue to live in a certain particular, lifestyle, but then not have to sit and wait till that day. So the bright idea today was that. So that was one encounter I had today, which was great. It's not rocket science, but sometimes people got to hear it from someone that they never seen before. She's never seen me before, but I'm sure her husband had been talking to her about that. And they, kind of alluded to the fact that they were. So here I come in. So this other young man, I went to his home, and he has twins. So I was getting some information. He has twins. And I said, well, how are they doing with this pandemic and being in that shelter in place and everything? And he said, well, that they were doing really good at first. They had straight A's and A's and B's and stuff like that. But then he said, as time went on, they ended up, starting getting, F's and D's, and things weren't going too good. And the daughter wasn't really feeling it. And he said his son was lazy. And I was like, well, we're going to have to figure out how we can get these kids involved with doing things and wanting to do something, because if they still feel that life is going to be cared for them, everything is just going to be taken care of, and they don't got to get out there and do nothing, then they're not going to do nothing. But we have to teach them how they need to start getting it for themselves right now, so that they understand how to make things happen when that time comes. So we were talking, and I said, I mentioned about the, teen entrepreneurs and getting teens to learn how to start their own business and do things. Those are the things that we're looking at. So I said, well, if you can't do it, then someone should be able to help you do it. Reach out to people who are there. Establish a platform that you can have these things done, so that your children, because you know how kids are, they don't usually like to listen to their parents or stuff like that. They'll listen to other people because they, see things differently. But our whole goal is to reach out to these children, because they're being lost. They're lost into all the things that they're being consumed with, the internet, all this other technology, all these devilish spirits and things going on. We have to, get our children and cultivate them. So as you can see, we got Joy Lee going on in the background here. So, she's just doing her thing. Then what is he eating? Paper. Yeah, let's get that. Maybe he's teething. His teeth are hurting. Probably. So anyway, so I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank y'all for popping in. And for those of you guys who are going to catch this replay, thank you guys. So our bright idea Monday after dark is all about taking what you have that's already in your capacity to do, and then also reaching out to people and looking for other avenues to get your children on the right page. So thank you guys for popping in. I'll see you guys on tomorrow, and that's $10 Tuesday tea. See you guys.